You may begin.
Thank you, Mr. Sinelli. Buongiorno.
Buongiorno.
And welcome. Tutto fratella and sorella. Welcome to all my brothers and sisters here today. My name is Frank Froyo, and I have the honor today to introduce the dignitaries. We have the Knights of Columbus 4th Degree Honor Guard from the Bishop Eustace Assembly, led by the Color Guard Corps Commander Mike Wegland. State Chaplain Joe Capella. Father Joe Capella, sorry. Father, my first time doing this, Father. State Foundation Chairperson Leonard Wood. Past State President Lou Capella and his wife Patty. Immediate past President Thomas A. Burbauer Jr. and Carrie Sanchez. State First Vice President of New Jersey, Dom Ucci. National Foundation Trustee, and today, one of today's honorees, Angelo Bianchi, Esquire. New Jersey State President Louis R. Santoro and First Lady Christina. We thank the Bishop Eustace Assembly, Knights of Columbus people for being here. They always come and support us and do a great job. And starting with today's program, we're going to salute the Italian flag, and then please remain standing as we salute the American flag. Nick, will you lead us in the salute to the Italian flag, please?
Thank you, Mr. Capelli. I'll be very happy to do that. Ti salutiamo tricolore, ti salutiamo per il tuo valore, ti salutiamo con amore, con fervore e con ardore. Italian national anthem. Okay. Fratelli d'Italia, Italia se desta e la vittoria tirerà la chiama, dove la vittoria le porgerà che schiava di Roma. Dio la creò. Fratelli d'Italia, d'Italia se desta, dell'elmo di Scipio se cinta la testa, dove la vittoria se porga la chioma, che schiava di Roma, Dio la creò. Stringiamoci a coorte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiamoci a coorte, siamo pronti alla morte, siamo pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Hey! Grazie.
Great job, Nicole. Now, if you join me with our salute, the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag
The United States of America,
to the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible,
with liberty and justice for all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, those broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? He watched gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, though was bursting in air, gave proof through the night that a flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? The land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you.
Thank you very much. At this time, I'd like to call on our state chaplain, Father Capella, for an invocation. Father, buongiorno. God of all faiths and all people, we come before you seeking benediction. We invoke your holy name and we ask you to be upon us, first of all, as a people who are grateful. Grateful for our Italian heritage. Grateful for our ancestors whose sacrifice gave us the life here as Americans, Italian Americans, that we now enjoy. That we may always remember their sacrifices, and that we may also give great dignity and honor to this legacy. We are also grateful for those who serve, especially our dignitaries who are here today in government service, that they may always have the courage to do what is right, not what is popular, to serve the least among us, so that they will help us all to be the greatest before you. We thank you for those whom we honor today for their service as Italian Americans. We ask you to guard our men and women deployed to military services throughout the world, stand down, and all who work for liberty and freedom in any way. Bless our country with true morality. Bless our homes and families with true love and charity. And bless each of us that we may give praise and glory to you in all things. This prayer we make and blessing we seek in your holy name, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen. Thank you, Father. At this point, every organization, in order to be successful, needs a strong, active leader. And our Grand Lodge of New Jersey doesn't fall short in that particular area. Our state president is Lou Santoro. Lou is going to have to leave right after he makes a few comments at this point because he has to attend the college outing with one of his sons. So we know somewhere along the line we got to include our family in these activities. So Lou, after he makes his comments, we will obviously excuse you. So ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce the president of the Grand Lodge of the state of New Jersey, Lou Santoro, and his wife.
Thank you, Mr. Kelly, for the kind words. Buongiorno a tutti. Father Joe, fellow state national officers, members, guests, on behalf of the Grand Lodge of New Jersey, I'd like to welcome and thank you for joining us here today to celebrate our Italian heritage at our annual Columbus Day ceremony. This marks our 3rd anniversary here in New Jersey as we officially celebrate October as Italian American Heritage Month. It's been almost 80 years since President Franklin Roosevelt first proclaimed this a national holiday, and our entire nation observed Columbus Day to mark the moment when the old world met the new. We come today to honor a man from Genoa who had the vision and the courage to plan out a 10-week voyage, ending in the discovery of this great land. I feel it's important for us, as Italian Americans, at least once a year to recognize the significance we look upon Columbus Day. It's an important occasion because it represents several basic purposes. One is the spirit of discovery. It was less than 50 years ago when we were proud that we were the first on the moon. But I feel it's an equal degree of courage the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria, who embarked on an unknown path with little support, no contact from a home base, and very little acknowledgement at their time of their tremendous accomplishment. And of course, the reason they came to this country was for opportunity. For not material wealth, but for a better life for people resulted from this trip. Well, that was over 500 years ago, and certainly a long time. When you go back in history of our people, which is more than 2,000 years, and inventory the achievements of our ancestors, Italian Americans would clearly stand out in all aspects of the formation of this country. One of our honorees today, Mr. Angelo Bianchi, penned a very poignant poem, I'm an Italian American, illustrating the accomplishments of our ancestors. With his permission, please indulge me as I highlight those who have contributed to our modern society. Of course, the reason we're here today, Cristoforo Colombo. As I mentioned earlier, we all know discovered the New World. William Paca, who was the signer of the Declaration of Independence. Constantino Brumidi, who created the dome of the U.S. Capitol. Enrico Fermi, the father of nuclear medicine. Guglielmo Marconi, discoverer of wireless telegraph. Antonio Meucci, the true inventor of the telephone. St. Francis Xavier Cabrini, the first American to be canonized in saint. And John Basilone from New Jersey, the first enlisted man by the Medal of Honor for World War II. And the list goes on and on in science, art, music, medicine, and the concept of government politics. And it's heritage, and it's our heritage, and we should all be deeply proud. And again, our heritage is not wasted. There are great moments of pride with highly publicized achievements like the ones I've just mentioned, but there's one characteristic to me that is very important, and that is the emphasis on family. The tightness of the home, and the fact that the development of human beings begins with a close-knit environment of love. As I mentioned again earlier, take any endeavor, any achievement of this great country, and we as Italian Americans are a part of it. For generation after generation, the success of America is drawn heavily from industry and resourcefulness of Italian immigrants and their families. Millions who came here and brought with them the distinct strength of character, faith in God, devotion to family, and love of life. So this day we should be one of deep pride for all Americans of Italian descent, as we not only pay tribute to Cristoforo Colombo, who discovered our great country 520 years ago, but two remarkable Italian Americans who made significant contributions to the community community, charity, and promoting a positive image for Italians in this country. Before I turn the program back to Mr. Capelli, I just want to apologize for not being able to stay for the remainder of the program. As Mr. Capelli mentioned, and I mentioned earlier, the importance of family. Well, I have a family obligation. I mentioned my son's family weekend at his college, and they regretfully must have to leave. So congratulations to both Mr. Bianchi and Dr. Iannuzzi. They're well-deserved honor today.
Thank you, Lou. Safe trip to the college. Tell your boy we wish him luck. There are many people that help to support the Italian-American culture, if you will, especially when it comes to activities as we have today with honoring Christopher Columbus. We have many local legislators that are here that participate and love to come to express their gratitude and their thanks in terms of what the Italian community does in fostering the Italian culture and also to enhance the living situations in our communities. First person I'd like to call up is Senator Don Norcross. Don, you want to come up and say hello?
Thank you. Glad to be here. Nick, your voice sounds as good as ever. It's great to hear you. I'd like to pay homage and why we're here. Never forget. The first thing we were taught somebody that we're recognizing today, Dr. Ray Iannuzzi, what he does each and every day in his institution, and that's to help the next generation. We certainly understand that the most valuable gift to our children is education. And the gentleman you're honoring today certainly is no stranger to that. His life has been dedicated to him. So, Ray, congratulations to all of you. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.
Thank you, Senator. Next person I'd like to introduce is the guy that controls, or attempts to control, all the finances of the state of New Jersey. It's our great Assemblyman Lou Greenwald. Lou, welcome.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to be here. I think 17 years, I've probably been to 15 of these. I'm very proud of my Italian-American culture and what it has meant not just to my family, but in a way to our community. And this weekend will be a celebration of our culture, and for us that really means a celebration of our family and our family. And it is that backbone that I think we have been raised to give back to the community and to do that public service, which is really what our honoree has done as well, in helping so many children have access to higher education to achieve their dreams, which are the very dreams that Christopher Columbus believed in when he set sail to find this country, probably never being able to imagine what this would become. But the fact that there was hope, there was dreams, and there was faith, that there was something greater out there. And this is really the culmination of that dream. Thank you for having us. God bless.
Thank you, Lou. Next person I'd like to introduce is Assemblyman Fuentes. Why don't you come on up and say a few words to us? Another gentleman in the sense that goes along with the diversity and recognizing different ethnic groups. Welcome.
You're the director. Thank you very much. Buongiorno. Pace sia con voi. There you go. See, I know a little bit. You know, what I see here, what I've heard, and you know, most importantly, celebrating the gift of your culture. I think it speaks loud and clear in all the contributions, you know, that I've just heard, and you know, it's enlightenment, if anything. And so I have a lot of respect for Christopher Columbus. You know, I was born in Puerto Rico, and you know, he discovered Puerto Rico. So I'm very happy to be here, to be part of this, and you know, whatever I can do in turn, along with my colleague Whit Wilson, who's not here, but of course you heard from my colleague Senator Donald Norcross. Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you.
Next person is a guy I know for a long time. Freeholder Director of Camden County, a guy that tried to take care of the parks along with Vesper and everybody else, Lou Capelli.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Columbus Day to all. I just want to thank all of the lodges of the Sons of Italy for remembering every year that we need to recognize our culture and our heritage. What makes America such a great country is that we're truly a melting pot. And this weekend is the weekend for Italians to recognize their culture and all our tremendous contributions to this state and to the United States of America. So God bless you all. Thank you. Marshal, the sheriff isn't Italian, but he was smart enough to marry someone who's Italian.
All right, he took away the thunder over there, but you know, we all know and hear about the Italian wannabes. The sheriff is one of these guys. Don't kid yourself. It's my pleasure to introduce the sheriff of Camden County, Sheriff Billingham. Take care. But I do have to tell you, my wife and I have been together since I was 18 years old. She was 16. And she's 100% Calabrese, and it is just an incredible environment to be part of an Italian family. And I have to tell you, I have two men who influenced me in my life, one my father and my father-in-law, who is an Italian immigrant, or was, he passed. But you can probably see us if those trees weren't there, because over in Calgary. My father-in-law was very, very proud to be an Italian-American. I eat macaroni 3 times a week. My father-in-law was proudly served the United States Navy. Actually, his ship was bombed in the Philippines. But I've come to learn everything there is to know about the tradition, although not all Italians are great. I have to tell you, I'm extremely proud, and I want to give an acknowledgement to Capelli's daughters who are here. Director Capelli promised them that there'd be sausage and Bordeaux and cannolis, and they're very upset with him right now. Thank you. Have a great day. Thank you, Sheriff. We can all see why you eat, the results of eating macaroni 3 times a week. It can't conceal quality. It shows sometimes. Along the comments that the sheriff made about food and so forth, up until this year, we always had a big fest here along in conjunction with the program. But this year, we're changing things a little bit. Next week, we will hold at the fiesta at the Echelon Mall area. And the program begins at 10 o'clock in the morning and it will run until about 5 o'clock. So we encourage and invite everybody to attend next Saturday's program. We'd appreciate that. The next part of our program, before we get into it, it's been mentioned many times before about recognizing the Columbus Day holiday. So often, some of our elderly people that are here today remember when we went to school, Columbus Day was a big thing. We used to have to do drawings of the 3 ships, the Nina, Pinta. Everybody knew about that. Everybody knew 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue. Those days are gone, unfortunately, because it seems that there are so many other organizations and people, in a sense, that want to take away that aspect of Columbus being, number one, being an Italian, and the attributes and the investments and endorsements and everything else that he did, which enhances the Italian culture. And this is something, in a sense, that many of our Italian ancestors, our parents, our grandparents, people that are here today and everything else will work not to make that happen. That we have to keep the holiday of Christopher Columbus just as it is, a national holiday. It's an important thing, I think, to keep in mind. We're moving on to the program where we're going to recognize and honor 2 outstanding Italian Americans. The first is a person that comes to us from North Jersey, a person well known in that area for many different reasons. He's a founding member of the Cavaliere Angelo Dottori Bianchi Lodge up in North Jersey, one of the oldest lodges in the state. He served as National CSJ Chairperson. He's currently National Sons of Italy Foundation Trustee. He was a New Jersey Commissioner of Banking in the days, I think, of Governor Burns, if I'm not mistaken. He's authored the poem, which has been mentioned, I think, distributed amongst the people today entitled, I Am an Italian American. Angelo is a well-spoken individual. Come on up, Angelo, we're talking about you. Come on. Come on up. Oh. Good-looking dude, isn't he? Yeah, not bad. Yeah, all right. So Angelo has been involved with different aspects involving the Italian community for a long, long time. He's the guy that wears those Italian colors right here on his sleeve. Angelo, I know I left in terms of introducing you. What did I leave out about? Everything. Oh, well, what can I do? But it's very gratifying to us to recognize and realize that there are Italian people like you, Ange, that keeps our Italian traditions and everything that we stand for, going in front of us, not only on our state level, but at the national level. Your contributions have been known and documented for a long, long period of time. Lenny, would you come up and present the plaque? Speech, Daddy. Don't speech before that, please.
I'm going to read the plaque. Presented to Angelo R. Bianchi, Esquire, October 6, 2012, in recognition of his many years of dedicated service and hard work. On behalf of the Italian-American community and the community at large, Angelo is a proud Italian-American. He has been an active member of OSAIA, New Jersey for many years, charter and founding member of the Cava dei Tori Angelo Bianchi Lodge 2654. Angelo has performed valuable service to OSAIA as National Sons of Italy CSJ President, as National Sons of Italy Foundation Trustee, as Commissioner of Banking for the State of New Jersey from 78 to 82, as President and Chairman of the Board of Conference of State Bank Supervisors from 80 to 82. He was inducted into the Italian-American National Hall of Fame in 2012, and he authored the poem that's been referenced many times, and if you haven't had a chance, please read that poem. It's outstanding. The poem's called I Am an Italian-American. Your dedication and loyalty is sincerely admired and greatly appreciated by the entire Italian-American community. On behalf of the Sons of Italy New Jersey Foundation, it's my pleasure to present this. Thank you.
I notice we're here today to celebrate the great navigator, Christopher Columbus. And I did write this essay called I Am an Italian American. Of course, I can only touch the surface of the accomplishments of Italians in this country. But since we're talking about navigators, and since we're talking about Columbus, I would like everyone to realize that there were three European nations that colonized this country: the English, the French, and the Spanish. The Spanish were led here by the initial navigator, Christopher Columbus. What I didn't put in my poem is that the French were led here by Verrazzano, who was Italian, and the English were led here by, when you read our history books, he's called John Cabot, but his real name was Giovanni Cahoto, who was Italian. And of course we realize that this nation, America, carries the name of Enrico Vespucci, an Italian. Or some of the things that I neglected in this poem. One other thing, someone talked about Philip Mazzei and William Paca. William Paca was a signer of the Declaration of Independence. I neglected to put in my poem that another Italian signed the Declaration of Independence. He was from Delaware. And his name was Cesare Girardi. And he holds the most significant part in American history. Because when they got together and they were determining whether or not we were going to break away from England and to declare, have the Declaration of Independence up there, it was a stalemate. And Delaware had three delegates. One wanted to go and one didn't want to go. Rodney was home, ill, dying of cancer. They got him on a horse from Delaware to Philadelphia to cast the final vote which brought about the Declaration of Independence. The final vote was cast by an Italian. Now, I'm not going to go into a typical speech about Italians and accomplish this country, the problems that we've had, the obstacles that we faced. I just have to say that I am a proud Italian American. My grandfather came here in 1894, went to the University of Maryland Medical School, graduated in 1898, and became the first Italian doctor in the city of Newark. He married my grandmother, whose father came here in 1871, and she was born in Boston in 1875. They came from a little town outside of Salerno. So I have a little different initial experience as an Italian immigrant. With Italian immigrants, but I was raised in an Italian neighborhood in the city of Newark. And that's what brings me so close to those people who came here, who are the true discoverers of this country. Our parents, our grandparents. And as I said last night when I spoke at a function, I can still visualize the old Italian woman going to church all dressed in black from head to toe. Because if someone died, you had to wear black for at least 5 years. They were the bulwark. They were the cement that kept the family together. And I love them all. And I'm so proud of them. I also want to say that we have had some accomplishments by Italian women. Now, you may not agree on the political suasion of these people, but the first female Speaker in the House was Nancy Pelosi, an Italian American, whose father, by the way, was the mayor of Baltimore and a congressman, Congressman D'Alessandro. The first person, female, to be put on a national ticket, Geraldine Ferraro, an Italian American for vice president. My favorite governor of all time, and I hope some of you remember her, was Ella Grasso from Connecticut. And outside of the political situation, it was mentioned. The first person to be canonized as saint. So all I want to say at this time is that we Italians have accomplished so much. We don't have to apologize to anyone. We had a tough time growing up. We had a tough time being prejudiced against. It still exists. I mean, there are certain television programs, frankly, I would like to take the film and burn it. But we do not have to apologize to anyone. And we do not have to be, and I will not be told that my contribution is any less, or my role not as worthy as that of the other. I ask you now, and this is what I want you to do. Teach your children and your grandchildren about their heritage. We're all Americans. I'm proud to be an American. I am so proud to be an American. Probably the greatest country in the world. But we have a heritage. And as I said to my son, who was the county prosecutor, at least for a while, of Morris County, as I say to him, and I said to him years ago, what's this? That's my blood. And in that blood is the history of a culture that colonized the world and brought civilization to the known world, the Romans. And when the world went into the Dark Ages, we took them out of the Dark Ages. We are the people of the Renaissance. And probably we have two of my favorite people of the Renaissance, are Michelangelo and Da Vinci. And Da Vinci was probably the greatest genius the world has ever known. So bring that culture to your kids. Let them know. Let them understand it. And make them proud of their background, because a lot of us is getting away. So I say to you now, I am happy to receive this award. I wish that you all will be proud and not forget your heritage, and make sure you bring that heritage to your children. Sons of Italy, thank you for the award. The oldest and largest Italian organization in the country, and I say, sempre avanti.
Sempre avanti.
Thank you, Ange. I told you he has a wonderful way with words. And it's always great at times when we go to conventions and several meetings
nationally and within the state, to sit down with Angelo and listen to these stories and listen to the knowledge that he brings to us. He's a gem. A little old, but he's a gem. He's got good color hair, though. Come on, Ange. Okay. The next person we'd like to recognize and honor is Dr. Raymond Yanuzzi, who is the president of Camden County College. Ray got his BA degree at St. Peter's College in Jersey City. He went on to get his master's degree at Johns Hopkins in Maryland and received his doctorate degree from the Catholic University of America in Washington, D.C. Ray is president, as I said, of Camden County College. He's been president since 2006. The college, which has 15,000 credit students and 7,000 non-credit students. It's a big organization. He was previously provost and vice president from 2000 to 2006 at Camden County College. He served as an administrator at several other community colleges and organizations in Cincinnati, Pennsylvania, and Maryland. He serves on just about every committee that there is in his state. Being president of a community college, that's part of the gig, I guess. Ray, come on up here while we're talking, buddy. He's a man of great knowledge. And you talk about a storyteller. Ray is a well-read person. And let me tell you, there's not too many topics that you could bring to his attention that he is not knowledgeable of. He's a person that makes us proud that we see an Italian as president of a college. Doesn't happen too often. Ray's there. Yeah, I know there's some there. Yeah. Ray.
President Rutgers.
Rutgers, that's right. Just got in there. Okay. So, Ray, it's always our pleasure to recognize you and wish you continued success and continue to do the great jobs you do for all the young people and elderly people in our community. You know, at our last all ages. Community college is open there. There's no restrictions. Remember this year at graduation we had 75 that got a degree. Can you imagine that? Ray and his group makes that happen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to introduce President of Camden County College, Dr. Ray Yanuzzi. How are you? Lenny, come on up.
All right, I'll read this plaque. It's presented to Dr. Raymond Yanuzzi on October 6, 2012. In recognition of his many years of dedicated service and hard work on behalf of the Italian-American community and the community at large. Raymond is a proud Italian-American. Since 2007, he has been president of Camden County College. Raymond has performed invaluable service to the community. He has served on the advisory councils of Rowan University College of Education, Leap Academy University Charter School, and New Jersey Italian and Italian-American Heritage Commission. Honored with the Community Spirit Award in 2005, your dedication and loyalty is sincerely admired and greatly appreciated by the entire Italian-American community. On behalf of the Sons of Lee Foundation, it's my pleasure to present this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lenny, Lou, and I thank the Sons of Italy for this award. I'm really honored to be here today, especially at the same day that Mr. Bianchi is honored by this group. And I'd also like to thank and give tribute to some people who aren't here today. Philomena, Giacomo, Anna, Antonio, my grandparents came here 2 generations ago from Italy. My mother, Eleanor, my father, Sam, although he was baptized Savario, they changed it to Sam, made it Sam Americano. Because of their contributions and their lives, I am able to be here today and do these things that have you just heard, that small contributions to the society here in Camden County and the state. And I'd like to make just a few more comments in the same theme that you've heard today from Mr. Bianchi and others about the connection between Christopher Columbus and our ancestors, because they shared many qualities and attributes which I think we all appreciate, we've all learned and grown from, and made us the people that we are. You heard Lou say that they used to teach history different the way that they do today. I think I'm privileged to have been just at the tail end of that kind of education in the 1950s. And I also had the honor of playing Christopher Columbus in the first grade. I had a costume just like you see our friend over there wearing with that hat and the medal. And there's some lines from the play that have always stayed with me many, many years later. It was the first grade. I don't remember much, but I remember, similar to the statue, standing on stage very proud and saying, "We can reach the east by sailing to the west." And I didn't know exactly what all that meant then. And Columbus, too, had a little bit of uncertainty, similar to our ancestors, the immigrants who came here. They weren't sure what they were going to face. They didn't know what was in here for them, but they knew that it was better. They had a vision. They wanted something for themselves, for their children. And they wanted to make a new life here in America, and they did. They had other characteristics, too, that they shared with Columbus. And one of them was, and I remember this from the scene in the play, when the sailors came to him, the kids in the class came and said, "Columbus, we must turn back. We're going to fall off the end of the earth," or something like that. And he said, "No, be brave, continue on, be strong, and you'll get to your goal." This is also something our ancestors, our parents and grandparents taught us and have learned, because they did work hard. My grandparents came, North Jersey, by the way, worked on the docks, and they sewed in the houses by themselves. To make a living, to get a foothold in the United States, to get that kind of economic status that they couldn't get back home in Italy, where things were poor, the farms were bad, there wasn't much for them. And then my parents were fortunate, children of the immigrants. They were able to move out to the suburbs, get good jobs. My father fought in the war, and then establish a family that enabled me to go to school, go to college, get degrees that you heard, and become a college teacher and then a college official. There's a few lines that have come into American culture about Italian Americans from a series of movies that some of you may have heard of, maybe you saw. I won't mention the title here because I know particularly among the Sons of Italy it's a sensitive issue, but there's some positive things in these films too. And one set of lines that always stays with me comes from the end of the second movie, or the end of the first movie, where the father is getting old and he's talking to his son, and he's saying, "I wished more for you, my son. You know, I wanted so many things for you. We just didn't have the time." And the line that always sticks in my mind is when the son looks to him and says, "We'll get there, Pop. We'll get there." And it always struck with me, particularly thinking today about Columbus Day and about our ancestors, because as you've heard today from so many of our speakers, we have gotten there in so many ways. And you can look on the NIAF website or the New Jersey Italian American Cultural Commission website, or listen to what you heard today from Mr. Bianchi and others, and know the achievements that we have made based on the hard work and the vision and the dedication of our ancestors and the people who came before us. And there's another important quality, too, that you heard mentioned today, and it's also reflected in one of those films. This is sort of near the end of the second film, where the father has passed away, and the son is sitting there with his mother, and it's a dark time because these are tragic movies, but there's some positive things that come through the messages. And he says to the mother, really searching, he says, "You know, I know Pop was strong for the family. He did what he had to do, but was he ever afraid that by being strong for the family, he could lose it?" And the mother looks at him and says, "But you can never lose your family, never." Right? And these are important values that I think we have learned, things that have come down from our grandparents to our parents to us. And as you heard Mr. Bianchi say, it's on us to pass them on to the next generation. There's another movie about Italian Americans that is a comedy. It's also got some bad stereotypes in it, but it has some humor, by Woody Allen. Broadway Danny Rose is the name of it. I don't know if any of you have ever seen it, but there's a song in there that has always stuck with me, and I think it's a theme for today, and maybe Nick even knows it. He can sing it later, I don't know. And it goes, "Keep Italian in your heart, let it always be a part of you. Never let it fade away, be a part of every day, let it stay in your heart forever." And those are the wishes I give for you today as we remember Christopher Columbus, his vision, his dedication, our grandparents, our parents, and the responsibility that we have on this Columbus Day and in the future to pass this on to you. Thank you very much.
Hey, I mean, did we have two great speakers tonight or what? Huh? Two great, knowledgeable, and great people that could really tell a great story. At this time, it's my pleasure to introduce the president of our Grand State of New Jersey Foundation, and that is Lenny Wood, who has led us to great accomplishments. Lenny, come on up.
Thank you, Lou, and welcome to everyone. Thank you for coming. When I was listening Angelo talk, it just occurred to me a shirt that I had seen a number of years ago, and it said Italian Americans, Italians, America. We found it, we named it, we built it. And I've always liked that shirt. I think it says a great deal about where we come from as a group of Italians. And I should tell you that, and this is something that you don't know about me, even though you know many things about me, is that my mother's name, since you mentioned it, is Ferrari. That's the Italian part. This is really a nice thing for the foundation. Most of what we do, of course, is to try to raise funds to do work, our charitable works and our scholarships, all of which is good stuff and all of which we enjoy. But this is what the important stuff's about, which is to keep our culture and heritage in the forefront and do what we can do to see that others keep it in the forefront as well. And you've heard that today from the speakers, how our culture may be getting pushed in the background from an educational perspective. And I think that having Italian month in October became a very important thing because we need to keep doing things and seeing that our culture and the contributions of our culture that have been made not only to America but to the world stay in people's mind and people's minds. So that's real important. And it's a beautiful day, and you don't want to listen to me talk, so I'm going to stop. But we always do this at this particular event. So if there are any lodge presidents or other representatives of lodges who would like to make contributions to the foundation, we would love to accept them. Come on out.
$100 from the Cherry Hill Lodge.
Thank you.
The oldest lodge in the state.
494, the oldest lodge in the States, donating $100. Thank you.
Oldest active lodge. Yeah, well.
$2,500 from Patton Heights Lodge, 2311.
Thank you very much.
And Mark, tell them the check's in the mail.
Check's already deposited.
I'm about ready to bring the program to a close, but just a reminder again about next week's program. We would appreciate your attending that one. That would be great. We thank all the lodges for the participation, and we thank you for coming out. You know, we were a little concerned about, people misunderstanding what's happening today and next week and that sort of thing. So we're very happy and appreciate your participation in today's program. So keep the Italian traditions alive, okay? Let's not forget that. I'd like to call on Father Capella again for our benediction. Time to go to work, Father. All right, you got it. Well, that's factual. Okay, thank you. Nick, just to thank a couple people. Nick Sinali for the music. Dom for Christopher Columbus. Our committee, Jack Sprascio, Don Pucci, Frank over here for things. Anybody I've left out, I'm sorry about that. But thanks for coming. And don't forget, next year we're always here the Saturday before Columbus Day. Put it on your calendar. Nick, you want to do a new Boga Gun Zone? Hey, all right.
I mean, I got it with you.